know how, I thought it was safe, but I got a plan. Let's load up the chopper and ride it around.
I pull up on them while you sleep. You gon' see, it's a fucking murder spree.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to episode 2 of my Formula 1 career. We are on season 1. We are in... Where are we in? Ah, screw it. I'll just tell you. It's episode 2, so we're in Bahrain. That's next up on the F1 circuit. And, as you can see, I've already done all 3 of my practices. Got everything done. Got 685 R&D points. So let's go see how we can spend it. Alright, we've got our engine upgrades. We've got one major upgrade. A major that should come in next weekend, and that'll actually put us up with Ferrari and Alfa Romeo. And this minor upgrade. So we can't do anything there. Durability I'm not too worried about right now. Aero would be nice. Aero would be nice to have. It is a possibility that we do need more traction through corners, or we could focus on getting a more nimble chassis, but not right now because we have this floor under tray, this minor going on right now. So I think we're gonna head over to Aero, give our some drag reduction. Yeah, so you got these 2 for the powertrain going, got this one for our chassis, and this one going for our drag reduction system. So yeah, now we have 110 R&D points, and we are going to go ahead, and I believe everything's looking good for our weekend tire allocation. Okay. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and jump into qualifying and see how we do. Alright, here we go for our very first qualifying run in Bahrain. We are coming around down the main straight now. Got our DRS wide open. We just crossed the line here. Make sure everything's max and hot lap, and we're good to go. Heavy braking into turn 1 here at Bahrain. And then we've got this kind of zigzag area into our first DRS zone on a track. We've got our DRS wide open. We're really booking down this straight here. Another kind of heavy brake into this really windy part. There's a double apex right here, a slight left to a big right, big left where we went way over. Coming around, slow corner here, a little straight, and then down through another double apex with a hairpin at the end of this one. Second DRS zone on the track here. This is like in the middle of the circuit, kind of. It's another straight, the big ass section where we go long left-hander and then long right-hander. You want to stay clear of that inside curb, or you could catch and spin. Down the back straight here, we have one more turn before we go across the line. Here we go, coming around. There's the grandstands. DRS is wide open, and we're going to go P1 so far. Sergio Perez right behind us. Alright, I think we're gonna head out again for our next lap in a sec. Yep, here we go. We're heading out for our final lap of qualifier 1 now. We're gonna go ahead and drive ourselves out, I believe. now we get up to speed. We can try to warm the tires. We have 2 minutes to get around this circuit here. Gonna warm the tires as best as we can. And the time that we have, but we still want to keep the engine kind of cool. Everything here is green. Brakes go red, but that's probably every corner. Here we are going around the double apex. We run it way, way, way too wide. We're gonna go down the main straight into the braking zone, around this left-hander, hit the curb a little bit there, and we're gonna come in real tight now. Stay in 7th gear instead of going up to 8th, and then we're back down to 4th. Down the back straight, 52 seconds to get to the line. We should have plenty of time. And here we are going to skip forward. We are now 1.3 seconds off Delta. This was the qualifier run. It didn't go as planned. We run extra wide there, which doesn't help our time at all. And we do not improve. But will we go through? 15th, so we barely make our way through to qualifier 2. Our time was just good enough for us to be able to just eke our way and slip into qualifier 2. As you can see there, not very good, but Mick did not make qualifying, and he'll be starting at P19 on the grid. So here we go for our first run. We're coming down the back straight to set our time. Our current time is a 1:20. Looks like we're gonna get across the line at about 1:29. Yep, we set a 1:29. We go fastest. Here you can see we are actually still in sixth place, and we have 2 minutes and 10 seconds left when we leave the pits, and we're gonna have it do our hot lap for us, or our out lap for us. And right here we see when we take control in the top right corner that we have actually blown it, because there are only 5 seconds left this qualifier session, so we will not get a second chance at Bahrain. We were P6, let's see, we stay P6, so we actually set a good enough time on our very first qualifying run to make it through into Q3, which is phenomenal for the team. We're gonna start high up in Bahrain on some softs that have only been used for 1 lap. That's just great news. Looks like we got Hamilton and Bottas and Leclerc top 3 right now. Oh, this is like we really set ourselves up good for Bahrain here, but we're gonna go ahead and hop right into qualifier 3 and see what happens. Here we go now, coming down the back straight once again for our fast out lap. We're currently on track to set a 1:30. It looks like. Oh no, we're gonna get across at 1:28.726. It was enough to move us up to P4. Here we can see us coming across. Final qualifier. We're here on our out lap now. We are currently P8, which would be the 4th row on the grid, but we would like to improve a little bit. As you can see, our time, we are down. We're down a couple hundredths of a second, and we got to make that up just to see if we can eke ourselves any higher. We go green here for a second, but we run that turn too wide and aren't able to put the power down as soon, so we go back below Delta. We run 7/700ths of a second off of Verstappen's pace, which would move us up 2 places if we beat him, but it is not looking too great for us as our Delta has not improved. And it seems that our pace is also not getting any stronger than it is right now. But we'll see. Coming up through the S's, up and around this section,
and then hard right through here, going up all the way to 8th, down to 4th, and we're down the back straight now. We are currently at a 120 right as we reach the braking zone. 122 when we exit, which is not good. We're at a 121, so we're basically a second off of our pace. We do not improve at all. So it looks like for Sunday we will be starting P8 on the grid, which is still amazing, our best performance yet. Big ups to the team. We have a great power unit for Bahrain. And yeah, our chassis, we don't have very many upgrades yet. Our downforce, we do have some reduction, some drag reduction, which probably is doing a bad this year.
Let's review our top 3 today. Bottas, Leclerc, and Lewis Hamilton. Well, that wraps up qualifying, but don't worry, we'll be back tomorrow as we head into the Grand Prix. The stage is set for another enthralling race here in the Kingdom of Bahrain. A Ferrari stronghold in years gone by, but will they be able to add to their record today? We'll be racing around 3.36 miles of the magnificent Bahrain International Circuit today. Keep an eye out for drivers locking the front left down into the tricky braking zone of turn 10. A warm welcome to Anthony Davidson, who's beside me in the commentary box today. Now, I want to ask you about Lewis Hamilton. That was a great win in the last race. Can they keep that momentum going this weekend?
It's always nice to come into a Grand Prix weekend on a high, but your expectations are based much more on your practice and qualifying runs. So it's the momentum from those sessions that they'll be hoping to carry into the race today.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Hamilton, Vettel, Alexander Albon, and Verstappen, Sainz, the captain, Norris, and Esteban Ocon, Stroll, Perez, Pierre Gasly, and Kvyat, Raikkonen, Ricciardo, Kevin Magnussen, and Antonio Giovinazzi, Schumacher, Grosjean, Russell, and Nicholas Latifi. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track and get this Grand Prix underway.
Alright, that's enough messing around. We've got the 5 red lights. They go out. Here we go. We get the jump on Sainz. It looks like Verstappen's going to get the jump on Albon, and Sebastian Vettel's going to tuck right behind Lewis Hamilton, who is attempting to go side by side with his teammate Valtteri Bottas. Charles Leclerc is in front on... Looks like Bottas got around Hamilton, and then Hamilton, and then Albon... Or no, now Vettel. Albon, Verstappen, Sainz, us, and Lando Norris is going to have a run down the inside to this turn, but we're going to brake way too late, and Verstappen's going to get by, Sainz is going to get by, and we're going to come out right back in our normal spot. Here we go through the wind section. We're going to come to this, not tight hairpin, but it's more of an open hairpin, down to the double apex.
Position on lap 1. That's not great, but it's not.
And yep, we get the call there that we just stayed in position, which is fine by me for the time being.
approaching the pit window. You'll be on the mediums.
We will have DRS down this main straight on Carlos Sainz. We're going to brake way late. He's going to lock up his front right tire. We're going to get by over the rumble pads. Not our best overtake, I must say. We got a little impatient there. We decided to send one down the inside, but it was fair. We didn't get any penalties, and onwards we will keep pushing. Alright, we're moving on to lap 5 now, and coming around this corner, we're actually going to learn that Charles Leclerc has just put himself out of the session.
The yellow flags.
There we can see his perspective a second ago, but now we're going to pull up beside him and go past him. This really sucks for Ferrari because that's their race leader, and on a track that's so fitted for a strong engine, he goes out of the session. You really hate to see it.
Confirmed. We'll receive you at the end of this lap.
Our biggest mistake. Here we make our biggest mistake in the race. We do end up having DRS off of Alex Albon, and we're going to use it to go into pit lane, and we end up picking up too much speed, and we hit with 84 kph over the legal 80 to go into pit lane. We'll pick ourselves up a 5-second time penalty, which just hangs over our head for the remainder of this race. So now we will be dropping down however many positions 5 cars are behind us with 5 seconds. Or however many cars are behind us in 5 seconds. Which is really, it just really sucks.
We want to finish the race on this compound.
Now we gotta finish the race on mediums with 5 seconds over our head.
Our gap to the car in front is 6.8 seconds.
There we were just overtaking a bunch of people that went into the pits, and we actually end up being right behind Max Verstappen out of the pits on this run. We'll see who we can get in front of on the next pit lap. Alright, coming out of the pits there was Alex Albon. So we just overtook people from 13th all the way up to 6th, and we ended up getting the undercut on Alex Albon, similar to how Verstappen has just gotten the undercut on Valtteri Bottas. Alright, skipping forward to the last lap of the GP at lap 14 out of 14. Lewis Hamilton takes the checkered flag. We've still got a 5-second time penalty on our hands. We're going to come around the final corner, and we see the line, but so do the 5 people within 5 seconds behind us. We'll end up dropping from P5 all the way down to P10 and get ourselves 1 point in this Constructors' Championship. Anyways, before they start talking, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Sebastian Vettel gets driver of the day today. We will catch you guys in the next episode in Vietnam.
The Mercedes team pulled out a fantastic performance today. They should be proud. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
I think a large part of the result comes down to temperament. They were able to keep their heads when everyone around them was losing theirs, and that's allowed them to get the best out of the car, to maximise the strategy, and to stay out of trouble.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today. And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. It's a great result for Lewis Hamilton, who moves further ahead at the top of the table. Some amazing talents out on the track today. But Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
Well, there was a lot of incredible driving out there today, Crofty, but if I had to pick someone, it's got to be Sergio Perez. Fantastic driving. All respect to the fans' choice, they fully deserve it. But I just feel that my pick had a little more on their plate, so their ability to keep a cool head and come through for such a strong finish made the difference, at least in my opinion.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. Mercedes continue to extend their lead. Meanwhile, good work from the owner-drivers team this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action. I can't wait to see what's next.